This is a keyboard, but what if I made it out of Lego? Well, this is the second part to my Lego PC series. In my last video, I built the mouse. So today, I'm gonna build a fully functional keyboard out of Lego. This might get pretty difficult. Let's do this. So how exactly are we gonna do this? Well, we can use this. It's a small wireless mechanical keyboard, which yes, means it has the most satisfying keys ever. And every key even has RGB. Now, funny enough, I actually bought this keyboard for this video, but I liked it so much when I got it, it's become my main keyboard now. But there is one major reason why I got this keyboard for this video. So it comes with this thing, and I can go to any key, let's just do L, and it snaps on both sides, and then I can pull up to have that key taken off. And you can see how those attach. It kind of looks like a Lego axle. And yes, I have tried it, but sadly it's too tiny, it's too loose. It doesn't like sit tight on the Lego axle pieces. So you can't do it through that way. But because the keys are swappable, we can definitely find a way to attach these to Lego. Now, when comparing the keycap to a 2x2 brick, they're basically the same size. The 2x2 brick is actually technically slightly smaller. It can fit inside the keycap, which means that yes, we could make every single key on this keyboard a 2x2 brick. So how do we get the 2x2 bricks to attach to the keyboard with its little X-prong things? Well, luckily someone thought of that. Someone has made a Cherry MX to Lego adapter, which these switches right here are Cherry MX switches. And so it's pretty simple. All it really is a little cone, and this end goes up into the 2x2 brick, as you can see right there. And then the tiny, tiny axle is at the bottom there, which can then hopefully sit on these switches and stay on. So let's try 3D printing it. Well, we got the connection piece 3D printed and it actually looks really good. Like you can't even tell this is 3D printed and this thing is tiny. And if we get our 2x2 brick and put it in the bottom, make sure it's lined up, of course, and then we can push it in a decent amount. I don't want it like crazy tight to where I can't get it out, but this is already pretty tight and it's not turning at all, so that's what we want. And then to test this, we can get the keyboard, of course, and I'll just pop off this corner arrow key. And on that little red X, we can just slide this on. And there we go. We officially have a Lego brick on the keyboard, and it works like perfectly fine. It's a little higher than the other keys, but still works, and that is really satisfying. And you might have noticed that I used the transparent 2x2 brick, and that is for the RGB. And as you can see, the light shines through it, which a regular Lego brick wouldn't allow. So I got a whole bunch of these 2x2 bricks for every single key. And yeah, the slightly longer ones like the spacebar and enter and backspace and stuff will have to have little modifications to them, and I'm not sure if they'll be fully transparent like all the other keys, but most of the keys should be fully transparent and look sick. So now let's 3D print 62 more of these adapters. All right, we got the rest of the adapters 3D printed right here, so I should just be able to like scrape these off, I think. Yeah. So yeah, let's go try these out. The first thing we need to do is take off all of these keys. All right, well, here is the empty keyboard, and you can see in there, it's super dirty. There's even a dead bug right there, and that's because I've actually been using this, so it's gotten quite dusty. So I'm gonna go clean this off real quick. Okay, I got it mostly cleaned out, but you can see that these red things are called switches, and they actually can each individually be taken out and replaced with whatever switch you want. And so this is how custom keyboards are made, but they cost a lot. So I got this keyboard pre-built that came with all of these switches for way cheaper than it would cost to make it custom. But yeah, let's add these adapters to every single key. Now let's put all of the 2x2 bricks on all of these and see how it feels. This thing looks super cool. You can see all those Lego bricks on there. Hopefully they're transparent so it's a little hard to see. And then I haven't tried typing on this, so let's try it. It's just like the normal keys, really, except it's with Lego bricks, so it feels different. That's so weird. Now, you might be wondering how I'm supposed to tell which key is which, and that's especially a problem because, yes, I don't have the keyboard memorized. I look at the keyboard a lot when I'm typing. So I'm actually gonna use printed and stickered tiles as well as brick built things to represent the letter that these actually mean. So for example, M, which I think is like right here or something, is usually map in video games, plus map starts with an M, so we can put a map on there, and now we know that that piece is M. But before we actually add these to the keyboard, we need to add a frame of Lego around this whole thing, so the only things you can see is Lego. Okay, so for surrounding this in Lego, I'm gonna use some 16 by 16 plates and put those at the edges, and you can see that it still needs a couple more studs to completely surround it. So in the middle of those, we can put an 8 by 16, and then that's basically a perfect lip around the edge that we can then build up on. Well, I screwed up on my camera and I had it set to like a slow motion setting, so it didn't record any audio of anything I filmed for like the past couple of clips. So I went over the keyboard and it looks super cool. You can see it right here, but I already added a couple of things and I didn't realize the audio wasn't recording until after I added them. But let me show it to you again. So these couple icons I put on here are actually all the bigger keys. So I did those first, so you can see that they're all bigger than the regular 2x2 area. And then I think basically all the rest are just gonna be 2x2s. But the actual keyboard is super cool. I have this wrist rest right here, which is super handy for typing on this keyboard because that was the one thing that bothered me before. And so now I have a wrist rest, and if you don't like it, you can literally just remove it. And then at the back here, there's this little thing that you can pull out and access the port and the buttons and stuff back there. And then you don't have to see it. So basically everything you see is Lego, which is really nice. And then if theoretically you wanted to take the keyboard out of here, you can lift this up and it basically just comes right out of here, like this, and then you have the normal keyboard. And this white trim actually goes around all the black parts of the keyboard so you don't see it. It looks a lot better. And then if you're wondering what these couple studs are at the top, there's one right here, and one right here. They're just for putting random accessories, which I'll add later after I finish off this keyboard. So speaking of the keyboard, let's add all of the icons for it. I have a bunch of tiles over here and I have even more in my collection. So let's add tiles that represent each key, which is kind of fun. You can see I already added a lock for caps lock, and then I made a symbol for enter and 2 of these for shift. And then the space bar, I just used road lines. So yeah, that's gonna be really cool. Also, this is what the keyboard looked like with every key being transparent and the RGB on. It looked sick, but we gotta add the tiles to every key now. Well, all of the keys on the keyboard are done, so now let's just add a couple of things to these top studs. So let's add Cuddle Team Leader right in the center. And on this far side, I'm gonna put this little electricity symbol warning you that this is electric. And then on this other side, I actually wanna change it up. You can see that right now I just have one stud right there from a jumper plate, and I just wanna take that off and basically take all of these off. Add a tile to this side and put a 1x12 plate right there. And then fill the rest of that in with tiles. Now these studs are actually to transfer my brickstudios from this bracelet I have right onto the keyboard, so let's move them. And there we go, I now have a fully working keyboard made out of Lego. Now getting a closer look at the keys, you can see that they're all so random, but they all have something to do with whatever that button is. I know a lot of you are gonna ask why I didn't use the Lego typewriter pieces, because those have the whole keyboard on it. And I actually did use one up here sideways for the minus button, but I didn't wanna do that for the whole keyboard because that'd just be boring and it wouldn't even look like Lego. I think this looks a lot cooler and a lot more interesting to look at. I'm just realizing this, but I forgot to put something for the question mark. I don't know what to put for it. All right, I got the piece. I don't know what that is, but it makes people ask what that is, which is a question. So yeah, most of them correlate at least somewhat. These 2 pizzas don't correlate at all to Alt. I just had 2 of them and there's 2 Alts, so it works. I wanted to make the Windows key how Windows normally is, but I couldn't get to look good in just a 2x2 area, so I just made the Microsoft logo out of it. And it still looks kind of like the Windows key, so that's good. But yeah, I'll pop up the keyboard with its normal keys so you can kind of like compare and see what keys are which. Some of them I was really desperate on, like if you see 10 down here. I used one of the Lego $100 bills, but then covered up one of the zeros. But yeah, let's try using this keyboard. All right, well, I got the brickstudios Discord server pulled up, link in the description if you want to join. But right here in the chat, might be kind of tiny, but I haven't tried if this works or not. I'm hoping it still works. Let's see. Yes, it does. And it still makes that super satisfying noise that this keyboard makes. See, let's see if I can reasonably type my name on this. Bro, I can't find T. I swear T is like one of these or something. This is T, the target, TT. There we go. I successfully typed my name. It was a little hard to do. For someone that could type without looking at the keyboard, I'm guessing this would be mostly easy. Okay, this is me trying to type without looking. I got my name right. I said, hello, my name is Wyatt. I think I really screwed that up. But yeah, the keyboard works and it even has the RGB, which looks sick. Look at that beauty. Oh my, it actually looks really good with RGB because it kind of goes behind it. But yeah, this is my Lego keyboard. Let's go add it to the Lego setup. So let's remove my old keyboard and add the Lego one. And this keyboard actually does look really cool. But one thing you might have noticed is the mouse is completely different colors from the keyboard, which is fine. Yeah, this keyboard might be one of my favorite builds I've made in a long time. So now we officially have 2 of the 4 parts of the Lego PC setup done. And the next episode is one of these. If you want to check out the playlist with all the Lego PC episodes in it, I'll have the link up here in the corner and down in the description. But let me know how you like the Lego keyboard in the comments. I actually really like it. The only issue is I don't want to use it because I know these prints will get worn off these pieces if I do use it a ton, but it looks super cool. But as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell. Oh, let's go. Oh, video done, video done. I'm hyped. And I have this white trim that goes around it so you... Love's just a game to come and play. Aziz on.